Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabanzo, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And I always see them. And today we got a hell of a show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. Follow the channel, same name as the channel, Dreamers Pro, and check out our Dreamers Pro podcast that we have pinned in the comments below. So it looks like we're back here again. Where are we again? We're back here talking about some more Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls drama. As you guys know, the Chicago Bulls were arguably the greatest dynasty in the history of the NBA, having multiple three-peats, having a 72-10 team, and then having the greatest player to ever play the sport, be a part of it. But then what happened? In 2020, they dropped The Last Dance docuseries. And when that docuseries came out, it became the most viewed sports docuseries in the history of sports. And it just basically caused all type of friction and drama between Michael Jordan and his former teammate Scottie Pippen, and it turned into this nasty, not back and forth really, just this campaign from Scottie Pippen to do everything in his power to tear down Michael Jordan. But it really started on the Dan Patrick Show, when Scottie Pippen basically went on the Dan Patrick Show and accused Phil Jackson of being a racist, and then took it a step further and basically said Michael Jordan was fake, and he was using all of those moments by controlling the cameras and all of that. For those of you who don't remember Scottie Pippen's initial salvo, where he kicked off this entire thing, I want to play it for you now just to kind of refresh your memory, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to some of the things that Scottie Pippen initially had said about Michael Jordan.
Help me understand the GQ article where you talked about the 1994 playoff game when you refused to go back in the game and Phil set up the play for Tony Kukoc.
Well, I mean, it's not much to be said. If you go back and look at when Scottie Pippen entered the Bulls and when Tony Kukoc entered the Bulls, and who deserved the last shot of the game.
No, I understand that, Scottie. I'm just going by what you said. You said you need to read between the fine lines. And then you go on to say it was a racial move to give him, Tony Kukoc, a rise. So,
well, I mean, if you knew that Scottie Pippen had been with the Bulls from 87, battled through the Pistons and every other team that we had to get to those 3 championships, wouldn't you give Scottie Pippen one opportunity to get a last-second shot without Michael Jordan? Like, 1 year without Michael Jordan. Can I get one shot? Like, I'm doing all the dirty work.
But all of that I understand from the basketball standpoint. But when you say a racial move,
well, why would Tony, who was a rookie, get the last second shot and you put me out of bounds? That's what I mean, racial. Like, that was Scottie Pippen's team.
But
Scottie
Phil
Pippen
then
was on pace to be an MVP that year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why would you put him in a position not to be successful? Why wouldn't you put him in a position to succeed? Michael Jordan is not there. So who's next in line for you?
But have you talked to Phil about this? Because by saying a racial move, then you're calling Phil a racist.
I don't got a problem with that.
Do you think Phil was or is?
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you remember Phil Jackson left the Lakers, wrote a book on Kobe Bryant, and then came back and coached him? I mean, who would do that? You name someone in professional sports that would do that, you know? I think he tried to expose Kobe in a way that he shouldn't have. You're the head coach, and you're the guy that sits in the locker room and tells the players, this is a circle. And everything stays within the circle because that's what team is about. But you as the head coach, open it up. And now you go out and you try to belittle, at that time, probably one of the greatest players in the game.
Well, it feels like he's disloyal. I don't know if that makes him a racist.
Well, that's your way of putting it out. And I have my way. I was in the locker room with him. I was in practices with him. You're looking for him afar.
Yeah, and look, that's why I wanted to have you on. But I go back, and Phil designed a play for Steve Kerr when Mike was there. And Mike didn't have a problem with that, did he?
don't understand. You're not setting me up to answer the right question. What do you mean Phil set up a play for Steve Kerr? He didn't set that play for Steve Kerr. He set that play for Michael Jordan.
I thought in the huddle, Mike says, "I'm going to throw you the ball. You'll be open at the foul line." And Phil had nothing to do with that?
And you don't want to get this show started because it'll take us a long time. Do you know all those cameras that's sitting in that huddle who they was working for?
The NBA.
So you know who Michael was speaking to when he said that, right? that was planned. That was speaking to the camera. That wasn't speaking out of what we're going to have to do, what the play is going to be. That was speaking to the camera. Had John Stockton not came down, trust me. But that was building his own documentary because he knew he was controlling the cameras.
So you heard what he had to say. And then from that point forward, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And then Stephen A. Smith reported on ESPN First Take that the bridge between Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen had been burned down to the ground. And then things took a turn for the weird when we then found out that Michael Jordan's son was planning to marry Scottie Pippen's ex-wife, which was just beyond messy and disgusting. But now we're hearing that that relationship has probably come to a close. So what happened? Yesterday, I was doing some research and I came across an article that was published on Bleacher Report on February 24th, 2024, and it had the following headline. It says, Scottie Pippen, more Bulls start no Bull tour to talk Michael Jordan last dance. It continues. Scottie Pippen is taking the last dance on the road. Pippen, Luke Longley, and Horace Grant partnered with Australia's National Basketball League to announce a tour called No Bull, which will feature the former NBA players discussing Michael Jordan and the 1990 Chicago Bulls. The tour will begin on February 23rd and then head to Melbourne and Sydney. Pippen was the mainstay next to Jordan in Chicago, serving as his second in command for the sixth championship. Grant played with the Bulls from 1987 to 1994, serving as the enforcer for the Chicago's first three-peat, while Longley joined in 1994 and was the big man in the middle in the second three-peat from 1996 to 1999. And then the article then goes on to say a few more things. So it looks like Scottie Pippen and these guys have now decided that they're going to take this show on the road to continue the Michael Jordan slander. I think that Scottie going at Michael Jordan has really hurt him long term. He's lost a lot of supporters along the way, especially for some of the crazy things that he said about Michael Jordan and all of that. The last one I think he said was that Michael Jordan wasn't a good basketball player. And he wasn't a dynamic basketball player, and he only became good when he came. All kind of crazy stuff. Now, is anyone disputing the contributions that Scottie Pippen had to the Chicago Bulls run? No. But what has happened is I've seen a lot of Chicago Bulls fans who witnessed that run begin to turn on Scottie. Literally, we produced a ton of shows about it, and I read through the comments, and a lot of them are pretty disappointed in the direction that Scottie Pippen has taken, and the thing has just gotten so ugly. If to be quite frank with you, it's gotten really, really ugly and nasty, especially with the Marcus Jordan, Larsa Pippen aspect of it. It's been pretty bad. My question is simply this: Scottie Pippen, if you go back and listen to the comments that he made on the Dan Patrick show and some of the things that he said subsequently, Scottie Pippen was referring to things that occurred when him and Michael Jordan were teammates. My only problem was, if you felt this way about Michael Jordan, why were we seeing you in various pictures and events with Michael Jordan hugging it up and kumbayaing it up? And as a matter of fact, why did you even participate in the Last Dance docuseries if you thought that little of Michael Jordan? If you thought he was this bad person, why were you willing to even be connected to the guy? Well, you saw an opportunity to make some money, and you did. And then you sold a book. You made a lot of money selling that book, talking about Jordan, and here you are going to have another tour, and you ain't going to be doing it for free, and you're still going to be making more money off of Michael Jordan. And I think that's the reason why Scottie Pippen has lost some of his once loyal followers. They're like, bro, what are we doing here? And it's really a shame, because this is one of the greatest sports duos, greatest sports runs ever, and to see it kind of end the way that it's ending, it's a real shame. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about this new tour? Do you think it's going to be more negativity being spewed in the direction of Michael Jordan? Do you think is going to be something totally different? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.